Hi everyone, it's me, Jill Lancet, and I'm in glorious grey stains, and it's Thursday, and we've been having showers on and off all afternoon and this evening. But yeah, that's autumn in Sydney, especially when there's climate thingo happening. Anyway, look, here's the new catalogue. Look how beautiful that is. And that prompted me, do you see that beautiful? That prompted me for today's card. Now, I can't show you what's inside there. I am sorry. I hate teasing you like that. But anyway, I've got a card for you. Look, fingers crossed it's better than the last one I did, which was like, didn't totally think it through, but I'm pretty sure all systems go, right? Okay, now, a couple of things. We're going to be using 3 different stamp sets. I'm taking 2, a message from 2 and a thing from it. I've got a punch happening here. I've got an embossing folder. It's all happening here, folks. And I just wanted to show you just some cards I got this week, just this week. So this one here is a beautiful one. If you remember, a couple of weeks ago, I did a washi tape card. This is from the lovely Christine, and it's just a little thank you card, and she writes inside, I just wanted to show you the results of you inspiring me to get out my washi tape stash. Loving it, from Christine. Isn't that lovely? The black and the white, it's got silver, it's got gold, it's all happening, and it just looks so special. Use up that stash. Use it up. So I was really excited when I opened this one. Yeah, it's just beautiful. Thank you, Christine. Thank you. The other card I'm as equally excited about. This comes all the way from Sioux Falls in the USA. I was so excited when I went, what? Look, a circular stamp. I don't think I've ever seen a circular stamp. How lovely is that? And it's just a little, we have a little random act of kindness group. And this is from Charlotte. I won't tell you her last name. Charlotte, you know who you are. Thank you so much. Isn't that beautiful? Look at those little tulips. Bloody gorgeous. Aren't they gorgeous? Anyway, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm getting quite a little stash of cards, and that was lovely. Thank you so much for taking the time to A, think of me, and B, actually taking it to the post box. Thank you so much. And that is what it's all about, making cards and then sending them. So again, thank you guys. Okay, so we'll get started on this card. Now, I've already done a few bits and pieces, bits and bobs. So we have our standard card base. Now, whatever country you are in, whether you use metric or US letter size, your card base is on these templates. These are free. If you'd like to receive them, email me here, tilly2145@gmail.com. Request the card mat templates, and you get both of them. That way, when I'm making a card in A4 metric, you can look at your template in US letter size and see that mat 1 is this size when I use mat 1 and it's this size in metric, and vice versa. If you're watching a US demonstrator and they're telling you their size is this, you look and see that it's mat 1, go to your mat 1 and you'll have the sizes there. Let's make life easier for ourselves, hey? What do you reckon? Okay, so I have a standard card base, and I'm just hanging those back up where they live because I'll be looking for them in 5 minutes. So just a standard card base, whatever country you're in. And the panel that I have embossed, look at that. I taped it in there because I wanted it kind of completely straight. Now, this embossing folder is pretty much reversible. I thought, oh no, I better make sure which side I've got it on. But it doesn't really matter. I quite like that side, so I think I'll use that side. And this piece is, now was this a matte one? Let me check. And this is how you can do this. I'm just going to turn that down, guys. Right, that's the card base. This is matte 1. And yes, it is matte 1. Whatever country you are from, matte 1. Okay. So we've got that. I've embossed that with the gorgeous timber embossing folder. Here is the item number if you're looking for that. So we've got that, we've got that. Okay, now what I did was I stamped and punched out a series of these leaves, and when I saw one in the catalogue, okay, I saw a card in the catalogue and I really wanted to case it, but as usual, these things take on a life of their own. So, yes, it has sort of taken on a Jill Lancet twist, and I'm going to show you right this second how I have done this. Now, when you get your catalogue, or if you look through the online version, send me an email. Tell me you found it. I can't show it to you, but tell me you found it. Now, look, if you've got a stamping platform, and it doesn't matter what brand you have, I have a couple of different brands, okay? What I did first was, I haven't got a card to show you again, so flying by the seat of my pants again, so fingers crossed this all turns out, guys. Okay, so I've got a stamping platform and I have the matting. They generally always come with some sort of additional foam piece. This is a matte spongy foam, and so I've got that in because these are photopolymer stamps. Now what I did was I'm going to keep this template. I will write on it that it's a template. I've simply punched out the bow punch. Now I've just put it in straight in like that and punched it, okay, in as far as it could go. Now on the back I have put, and I've put it on here as well, on the back here I have put some tear and tape. Now I haven't taken the protective coating off this one. I've also de-stickified it a little bit, and then I've put another piece on here so that it will stay where I put it. Okay, so I'm sticking it down to the mat. Now it'll come off really easy. So what I wanted to do was to colour the leaves, and stamping it and then punching it, stamping it and then punching it. I thought, this is a technique from way back when. Now I have already done all bar one because I didn't want to bore you with all of the backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. So I'm going to do it right now for you, and then you will see how it was done. So I've got a couple of different inks here. I've got Old Olive, Lemon Lime Twist, Copper Clay, and I've got Crushed Curry. I wanted this to have an autumn feel about it, like autumn leaves. So they're the colours I've gone. Look, you pick any colours you like, but these are the colours that I have chosen. So I'm going to pop them up there for the minute. I went through and punched out, I think I punched out seven of these leaves. That way I don't have to line them up. I can just go punch, 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 and they're blank. Nothing's on them yet. So that's what I've done. That's where I'm up to. Now, I have already, as I said, done all of them bar this one. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I've done this. So I've punched it out on my big piece. Then I've punched this out on little scraps of paper. And I mean little scraps of paper. Let me just show you how small some of them are. Okay, these were just scraps. I keep all my scraps and I keep them for just such an occasion like this, okay? So that's where I stamped them, punched them from. I beg your pardon. So I'm going to pop those out of the way, pop this out of the way because we don't need that quite yet. So what I'm going to do is, I haven't set the stamp up. I want to show you how to do this. because this is kind of like, ultimately, if you're doing a lot of things, this is quite quick to do it like this. So I have this up in the corner. I have a magnet on it. I'm going to lay my stamp in the space. Now, it kind of, you can feel it falling in like a jigsaw puzzle piece. Okay, so I've got that on there. I'm going to close the door and pick it up. Now, I will probably have to realign all of this, but that's okay. I was expecting to do that. So I've got some heavier magnets here. So what I want to do now is just like, there is a right way and a wrong way. Oh yeah, I've got ink all over me. So find the way that this was punched out and pop that back in. Now, because that's not too sticky, it's not going to cause a problem, but it is going to hold it in there for me. Now, if you remember the tree card I made, where we individually coloured it in, it's kind of similar to that. Okay, it's just an extra piece on that. So what I did was, I got my colours. I've got my crushed curry is my lightest colour. So what I want to do is I want to ink this whole leaf up and stamp it. Because that's in there, it's going to stamp it, okay? I don't have to worry about punching it precisely. It's in there. It's not going anywhere. It falls in like a jigsaw puzzle piece too. So I'm going to stamp that down in the crushed curry, and I've done the whole stamp in the crushed curry. Now what I'm going to do is give this a bit of a clean with my chamois, and then I'm going to go with the lemon lime twist. Now, all I'm going to do is just ink up bits and pieces. Now, you won't even see that. You won't even see that, I don't think. But I've just gone around and dabbed it all around, not the whole thing. Now, when I go to stamp this, you will see where the green ended up. Now, if it's not enough, you go back in and you do some more. Just make sure every time you've got that up in the corner. Now I'm going to do the old olive. I'm not going to clean it because they're both greens, okay? And I'm going to do that randomly. And now we're getting this variation of the leaves. And now I'm going to use the copper clay. Now, this is a strong colour. So, yeah, I just want to do this in bits and pieces. And if it's not enough, go back and do some extra bits. And you'll see that variation in the colour is coming up like an autumn leaf. You know how they go all different colours? Look at that. It's beautiful. Okay, so now I've done that. Okay, now I did that with all, I think it was 6 of them. Done them all here, and now we're going to do the next step. So I stamped them all to this point, took that out, cleaned this off, cleaned this stamp off, removed this stamp, and now I'm putting in the I'm going to take this little guy out, because remember I would have taken him out. Hang on, where's my take your pick? So I just need to lift this up. Now just be careful you don't tear this, okay? Right. Now these are really delicate, okay? So you just want to be, I mean, you don't have to put that tape down, but I just felt like I needed that extra bit of security. It wasn't so much stuck to the tape as pushed back in place. So there's the leaf we just did, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the solid leaf, the fill-in part, from this stamp set. I probably should show you which one it is, shouldn't I? It's the layering leaves. So we've used this one here, and now we're going to use this one. But there is this one, and there is this one as well. This is a brilliant set, and it was from, I think it was Rachel Tessman. Does it say? Yep, Rachel Tessman. And it goes with the BOUGH punch. So that's brilliant. Designing this stamp set to go with that BOUGH punch was really, really clever. Okay, so I'm just going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to lay this in here, and it just does the leaves. Now, again, you can sort of feel it falling into place. Once you're happy with that, I'm going to close the door. Remember, this does not have to be exactly perfect. Okay, so, and this is what I did. Once I had that there like that, and you can see it over here, I put my stamped leaves that I've already stamped, I put them back in there, okay? I just popped them back in, and then I got my Versamark ink pad. I inked up that fill-in stamp, and I stamped that down. Now I'm actually going to do it twice, just to make sure. Just to be sure, So stamping that down twice, and then I'm going to use my clear embossing powder, and I'm going to emboss this. Now we're finished with this for the minute, so I'm just going to clean that. But don't forget, it only does the leaves, okay? So we'll just pop that over here. I'm going to get my clear embossing powder, and I'm going to lay that in the embossing powder and just make sure that I get a really good coating of clear embossing powder on that. I'm going to take my tweezers, grab this little guy out of here, give it a good tap. Hope I'm not getting it anywhere. Now look at that. It kind of looks like Sugar Frosties. Remember Sugar Frosties? Do they still make them? Anyway, it looks like Sugar Frosties to me. So I'm going to close that. I'm going to heat this up for a minute just to get it hot. Then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'll put it next to my little paddy melon. There you go, paddy melon. Yeah, he's a paddy melon, I think. And that's my nephew's hand. He's feeding him. That green thing is a bottle. He's feeding him with a bottle. So I'm going to bring my heat tool in now. I'm going to show you. You just want to heat that till it goes clear and shiny. Isn't that lovely? Might pop it down just for a second. Okay, done. Done and done. Look at that. And it pops the colours out too. I don't know whether you've noticed that, but it does pop the colours out. Right, so there's our little leaf, right? So now we're going to get on and put this card. Oh no, we've got to do something else. That's right. While he's just relaxing there, I had another thing set up on my stamping tool. Now, I don't know whether you saw it, but I'm going to take those off and pop those over here. Now I don't know if you can see this, but I've got 2 strips of washi tape. And I do this a lot. I do this a lot when I want something precisely placed. So what I have here is I have a strip, and this is just a scrap, another scrap that was cut off the bottom of a piece of basic white. And I have put the washi tape in there so I know where I've got to put this, because I've set the stamps up. And I want to do them in the copper clay. So I'm going to stamp this stamp Hope, and I'm going to stamp it in copper clay, and I'm going to stamp that down. And let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at that. beautiful. Now what I want to do is I want to clean that off, and I'm going to get my embossing buddy, and I'm just going to give that a bit of a tap. I'm going to take my Versamark ink and I'm going to ink it up again, and I'm going to stamp that down on top. Now you can see there's another stamp set up there, so I might do that twice actually. Do that twice. And now I'm going to put some clear embossing powder on that. And I think I'll heat that before I do anything else. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, now this should be still warm, hopefully. Just going to heat that. I'll let you see that because you just can never get tired of seeing that. So now I've got it embossed in whatever colour I want. As long as you go over it with your clear Versamark and then put your clear embossing powder on it, you can emboss any colour you like. So we'll pop this over here and we'll do the second part of this message. Now I have it lined up so that it's up against this piece of washi tape. I'm going to put this magnet here. I'm going to clean that because I don't think I cleaned it. And actually we might put the magnet here because it's a bit warpy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the copper clay. I'm going to stamp up the second half of this stamp, and I'll show you what stamp set it is in just 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Now I had it so that it would be nested in to the word hope. So there we go. And I need to line that up again. Now the good thing about having it with clear over it is that if it's not totally 100% in the right spot, it won't matter because, you know. So I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to ink this up with the Versamark. Make sure it's in the right spot again. And ink that down, and I'm going to pop some clear embossing powder on this again. And we're going to have this beautifully embossed greeting in a colour that we don't have embossing powder for. There we go, look at that. Now I'm going to heat that. We're done there with this now, so I can pop that away. I'm going to heat this. Go, look at that. It's raised, it's embossed, it's shiny, and it's in the colour I want. How gorgeous is that? Okay, that can all go away. Let's just clean that. Okay, that can all go away and we can put this thing together. But I've got something extra tricksy for you with this sentiment. So we'll put the card together first and then we will put the sentiment on because there's a little bit involved with that. So now I have my timber piece. I've got my card base. White on white, stunning. But if I wanted to accentuate this piece, I can run around the edge with my copper clay. I'm trying to tie this all in. So if I just go around very lightly with the copper clay, It doesn't look like much at the moment, but when I put that down on that white card base, you will see this pop. Okay, and it's just a simple little thing that you can do. There you go. So now I can pop this onto my card base. Now, the next question is, do I want it popped up or glue it down? I'm actually going to glue it down because I want to pop the other things up. So I'm using some liquid glue because, yeah, look, you can hear the texture on this. It's beautiful, beautiful 3D timber look. I've put plenty of glue on that, and I'm just going to pop that down. Oh, did I tell you what size it was? Size mat 1, didn't I? Did I? Okay, so we've got this. Now, look, there's a very subtle little border on there, but it just adds something, just adds that other little dimension to that. So now we've got this. So here are all my little bits and pieces. Now, the card in the catalogue, I do believe they used these little pieces too. Now, I'm still undecided about that, so I'll put those all there. Put those all over there. And what I want to do is I want to, as per the card in the catalogue, these went up like a vine. So they kind of went up. Now we might need to trim some of the stems off. Let's see how we go. Okay, so we want, how many do we want? We want 1, 2, 3, 4. We want 5. I thought I had 6. I thought I had, oh yes I do. I've got 6 for the front of the card. 6 for the front of the card. But look, use your own discretion here. If you want to do 5, do 5. If you want to do 6, go for it. So I think I will end up trimming some of these stems off here. So we'll start here. Now look, this is what I also like to do. I like to get my mini what do you call these things? Oh, Stampin' Dimensionals. Oh my goodness. Okay, rightio. Carry on. Now, I like to kind of just pop up that top leaf. Okay, so hopefully this will fit behind it. If not, we might have to trim that down. Perfect. So I want to pop that up. So that's raised, but I'm going to glue the rest of it down. So you'll have this bit of 3D gorgeousness happening. So I'm going to snip off the stalk here, the stem. Just going to snip that off like that. I'm going to put a bit of glue on the bottom leaves. Just those 3 I think would be enough. And maybe the stem. Maybe the stem. And then I'm going to pop this one down. I'm going to take the back off the little dimensional, the mini dimensional, which sounds easy, but okay. So I want him to be sort of like here at the bottom. So there he goes. Look, he's glued down except for that. Now I'm going to just lay the rest and just see where I want to put them. Okay, so you don't want to put them like side by side, or you want to have them going off a bit. So have them going off a bit. And then if we wanted to, we could glue these in amongst them. Now, leave them plain white. Just leave them plain white. We'll see how we go with that. I want to get these placed first. So I have the bottom one down. So the next one I think I'll do is the top one. I think I'll have it coming off so that I can cut that off. So we'll do the same thing. We'll pop a mini behind this leaf, and I'll tell you folks, it just fits. It just fits. Look at that. So we'll take that off before I do it this time because, yeah. Now I'm just going to pop the glue on those 3 leaves again, those 3 bottom ones. I haven't glued the stem down at this point. Might just pop a dot there. Yeah, what do you reckon? Just there. Yep. And then I can trim this if I think that needs to be trimmed. Oh, now I can't cut him off because I've just put that on there, haven't I? Well, that's okay. That's all right. We've only done that one and this one. So who's to say this one can't be higher? There you go. Look at that. Right. So I'm going to do the rest of them. I think I'm going to just put the pop dots, what do you call them? What do you call these things? Stampin' Dimensionals, the minis. I'm going to put them all on the back of the top leaf. And is that one done? No. And then we'll be ready to arrange these as we see fit. You can, of course, cut them in half if you think that they're a bit too big, or if you're struggling with them. Yeah, cut them in half, guys. Okay, so we've got all of those. I think what we'll do now is we'll just arrange these and glue them on. I think I'll leave the stems on. They just add an extra bit. Yep, they add an extra bit. Right. Dot, 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 dot. Tiny little dots of glue. Now, you could, of course, use your tweezers. So I'm going to have this guy going up like this and have him sitting like that. Peel this off the back. Oh, where is my take your pick tool? Here it is. So much easier. So much easier. Right. Dot, dot, dot. A little dot there. And this guy can go here. Now look, they don't have to be going up in a straight line. It's meant to look like, you know, leaves on a tree, oddly enough. But yeah, while I'm doing this, I think I might just tell you about tonight's animal. I'm trying to give you an Aussie animal, every Thursday night. And it's not a case of which one do I think is the most interesting. They're all interesting. They've all got their own special little quirky things happening. So there's another one. We pop that one there like that. So tonight I'm going to talk about the Numbat. The Numbat. Now this beautiful picture is from Martin Pott. I got this just straight down off the computer. Look at that little guy. Now he's predominantly grey, but you can see there's a bit of like red, like brick red. And he's got black and white stripes on that lower part of his back there. He's got a little pointy nose. And Numbats are mammals, and they're marsupial mammals. And the saddest thing about the Numbat is this is where they were once found. This is where they were once found. Now, this is Australia, in case you don't know. I'm sure you know. Those 2 little black dots is where they are only found now. If that does not make you want to cry, I do not know what will. Those 2 little dots. And that's over near Perth in Western Australia. Now, they used to come all this, look at that. And it's reduced to that. Now, they are releasing these back into the wild gradually, but it's a struggle, guys. It's an absolute struggle. I'm going to put my little numbat there. Now, when I was growing up, if somebody was being stupid, you would say, oh, you numbat, stop being a numbat. I mean, I knew what a numbat was, but it just was funny. It just sounded funny. But look at that little guy. Now, I've got some facts for you. They're very, very small. Now, they are 35 to 45 centimetres or 14 and 18 inches long. But that includes that tail. That tail is as long as its body. So the actual body of this thing, so you're talking 14 centimetres. 14 centimetres, he's like 7 centimetres. His body is 7 centimetres long. Where's a rule? This is 6 centimetres, probably 7 cent. This is 6 centimetres is there. 7 centimetres is there. His little body is 7 centimetres, and then his whole body and his tail is 14 to 18 centimetres long. He's this big, tiny, cutest little animal you've ever seen. So if you want it in inches, it's 14 to 18 inches. Oh, what am I saying? 35 to 40 centimetres. 35 to 45 centimetres. So half of that is, you think I would have worked this out, hey? So it's probably, his body's probably about that long. It's 7 inches. His body is 7 inches. Okay, so his little body, well, not too far off. His little body is 7 inches, and then his tail is like another 7 inches. So they're not very big at all. Just disregard that first bit of garbage I just told you. Right, and they weigh between 280 grams and 700 grams, or 9.9 and 24.7 ounces. They're about half the size of a cat, which is why feral cats in Australia are an absolute disaster to our natural fauna. I mean, this is like a large rat to them. This is the size of a rat, so they're very easy for the cats to get hold of. That's why there's not many left, okay? Now, they do have like a long tongue, and they do eat ants and termites. And they've got a long tongue like the echidna. I'm reading this stuff. Actually, it's termites they eat. I've got all this stuff written down. It's the print's not big enough, guys, so you'll have to bear with me. Okay, so they find the termite mounds. They do eat termites, okay? And, oh, excuse me. But their little claws, they're not big enough or strong enough to actually tear into a termite mound. Now, a termite mound is like, and trust me, we had termites in our wall last year. It is like wet mud when they are first building it, but after a while, it's like really hard cement. So these little guys can't get inside the actual mound, but they have found that surrounding the mounds, the termite mounds, are underground chambers where the termites go. So they can actually dig down into the softer dirt and then get a really good feed. They have to have 20,000 termites each day. That's a lot of termites. They're the only marsupials that are active by day. They spend most of their time looking for termites. They poke out their little tongue. Their tongue is sticky. It hasn't got spikes on it, but it's sticky. It's got like sticky saliva on it. And it actually grabs the ants, and they can pull it back into their mouth, and they can yeah, get a good feed of those. It sounds really delicious, does it? Does it not? They also have like, koalas have like a scent gland on their chest. I'm not sure whether their scent gland is, but they do have one, and they use that for marking their territory. Now, reptiles such as goannas, some pythons, eagles, native eagles, they're the current, they're food for them. But introduced red foxes and feral cats are decimating the numbers. Now, they're generally solitary and territorial. They can have a territory of up to 1.5 square kilometres or 370 acres. Hang on, I've got to turn the page. At night, they have little nests. Now, that could be inside a hollow log. And this is why it's important that like man is impinging on their habitat as well. Any fallen timber that's hollow, and a lot of our animals will use that as their home. They also can dig a burrow, and it's usually about 6 feet long or something like that. And then inside that tunnel, that small tunnel, they've got an opened area where they've put branches and leaves and grass and stuff like that in as their little nest, and they can sleep in there. Now, they don't make a terrible lot of noise. They don't have a lot of vocalization, but they can hiss, they can growl, or they can make a repetitive tut sound. Now, they usually have 1 litter per year, and that usually consists of 4 little babies. I don't know what they're called. Doi, I should have looked that up. Bubbers. Let's call them bubbers. But they don't have a pouch. But they do have this little sort of like flap of fur that once the little babies, they latch on to the lactation teats, this little flap comes down and it sort of protects them. It's like thickened fur more than anything else. Now, when they're born, they're 2 centimetres long. 2 centimetres. Let me show you what 2 centimetres looks like. 2 centimetres. As long as the first joint on my little finger, that's 2 centimetres. How cute is that? Now, they stay on their teat until, it's a few months later, and they would have grown to 7.5 centimetres or about 3 inches. And when they are 1.5 inches long or 3 centimetres long, they first develop the fur, and it's the patterning of the adult that these beautiful patterns in their fur. Now, they're all different, you're not going to get them all the same, but aren't they gorgeous little animals? And I so enjoyed looking all up the information on there. There's more information that I could fit in there, but yeah, if you want to have a go and have a look at them, just Google Numbat, Numbat. Don't be a numbat. Go and do it. Anyway, I'm going to finish this off now. I hope you guys are enjoying this little section of where I introduce some of our gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous little animals. By the way, the numbat is the state emblem for Western Australia. Rightly so, because now that's where the only place you can see them, which is very, very sad. Reduced numbers to that. And the first settlers, when they came across them, they one description was, "I've just seen the most beautiful little animal," and he thought it was a wild cat. They ended up catching one so that they could have a look and see what it was all about. And a lot of our animals' names come from the local Aboriginal tribes that are in the areas where they're found. So there's another little piece of information. Look at that. Look at the shine on those leaves. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, don't forget where I was inspired for that. So now we're going to do this. I might actually just put a couple of these around. Let me just put them and see what I think. See what I think. I feel like I've just torqued the leg off an iron pot now, which apparently, according to my husband, is not hard to do for me anyway. I might actually just put a couple of these around. Just give them a little dab of glue. Look, tiny little bit of glue. That's all you need. Tiny little bit of glue. Just a couple. It just adds to the texture of the card, I think. Couple more. Maybe 3. Maybe just 3. Have them just popping out here and there in between the leaves. 1 more, I think. And then we're going to do something with this beautiful sentiment. And of course, inside the card. Might pop one up here. Might just snip this off a bit. Snip that off a bit and pop that up under there. There we go. Now, what I want to do with this, now this was not any particular length, and you are going to have to work this out for yourself. I'm sorry, but what I did was I scored just where that ended. So it depends on the placement of your stamping. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you what we are going to do, okay? So I'm going to line the last little bit of the stamping up. Now look, I'm going to stand up for this. Trust me, I don't stand up for too many people, but I will for you, okay? So if you can see the lettering in the track, you can see it as it's going past, I hope. Can you? That's the track where we're going to score it, and indeed where we cut. So just when you can see the last letter, just go over another little bit, and that's where we're going to score, okay? Now, I hope you got that, okay? So we're going to push that up against there. I'm going to score that. Then I want to score about another 1/4 inch or 1/2 centimetre. So over here you can see I've got some marks, measurement marks. Well, that's just happened to be 10.5 centimetres. So I'm going to scooch it over to 11, and I'm going to score that again. Now that's 1/2 centimetre. Now that's roughly about 1/4 inch. Yeah, roughly about 1/4 inch. Now I want to move that over to another, I want to do it 1 centimetre or about 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'm doing it over 1 centimetre. I'm going to chop this, chop that off, and that's scrap. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to put this in so that I can see where my little stamping goes, because I want it as close to that as possible. And I'm going to score that. Now that just happens to be 8.5 centimetres, so I'm going to move that over to 9, which is 1/2 centimetre again. Same distance, and then I'm going to move that over 1 centimetre to 10, and I'm going to chop. Okay, so now we should have this. I've got 2 score lines. They're like 1/2 centimetre or about 1/4 inch apart, but the first one is just past the text on the stamping. So now what I want to do is I just want to take my, and I cannot find my, oh, here they are. I've got my snips, and about halfway this way and about halfway there, I just want to pop a little snip line. So I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can see that. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to, look, this does not have to be perfect. Then I'm going to go from this corner to the center where the snip line ends. So hopefully you can see that. I've got a little triangle there that I can cut off in a sec, and I'm going to do the other side as well. Okay, and we're fishtailing this, or bannering it, whatever way you normally would call it. That's what we're doing. So that's scrap. We're going to do the same thing on this side, up to that center cut, and on this side as well. So we've got a banner now. Let me just get something dark. Come back here, Mr. Numbat. So we've got our banner. We've got 2 score lines, and we've got that. So what I want to do now is just bend this one down, bend this one back, and I've got a 3D banner. How simple yet effective is that? So now I've got this little banner. It's a little 3D banner. So I want to put some dimensionals on the back. I'm going to go for the larger ones this time because, yeah, I only need a couple. So what I want to do is I want to put one here, one very close to there, one very close to there, and probably one in the middle is enough. Now, this is going on to the front of our card. I'm going to take these off. Just taking those off. What's going on there, mister? Oh, he got squashed. Never mind. Okay, now this is where this is going. Okay, it's going about 1/3 of the way up. And I'm just eyeballing this, really. I just want this in the center. So once you're happy with where that is, pop those down. Now, you've got these 2 little bits that you can tuck under there. You can actually glue them down if you wish, but I just tucked them in, and we've got a beautiful banner. We've got this beautiful vine, and it's beautifully 3D in every aspect. We've got some embossing. We've got some things that are, you know, propped up on dimensionals. Beautiful. How gorgeous is that? Now, the inside of the card, I just wanted to put a simple sentiment. It says here, hope is believing in a brighter tomorrow. Now, the sentiment that I've got, I'm just putting in, you matter to so many. Now, I'm going to do it in the copper clay again. Now, after all of this, I hope I get this straight, because I would be pretty devastated if I buggered this up at this stage. So, okay, here we go. Right. You matter to so many. There it is. Look at that. And here is my 7th leaf. Now, you can put that wherever you want. You can just glue that down. It's got that beautiful gloss on the leaves only. The colour really pops. I think I will put that there like that. I think that's lovely. What do you guys think? So I will glue this down. I'll glue down all of them because it's inside the card. And guys, we have finished another card for another week. Now, I've been yakking all this time. Hold on while I just have a little mouthful of coffee. Okay, we've got this beautiful, beautiful card. Gosh, I hope you like this. I really love this. I think this is gorgeous. Now, if you love this and you love my free card making tutorials, which I give to you guys twice a week, maybe you could consider donating the cost of a cup of coffee, just the cost of a cup of coffee, to the Kanamaluka Wildlife Rehabilitation Centre. Now, they happen to be in Tasmania. There would be people just like Jess and Duncan and their family that have devoted their lives to rehabilitating and releasing these animals back in the wild. Now, they've actually got 2 or 3 places, other than those 2 places in Perth, that are release areas, but they are fenced off. They release the Numbats into this large area. It's predator proof, so that means that the wild cat, the feral cats and the foxes can't get at them. It gives them a chance to breed, and then when they can establish a really good breeding program, they will be able to release them back into areas where they formerly were. It is such a valuable thing to do, because can you imagine your children growing up in a world that does not have these amazingly gorgeous animals that are so vital to the ecosystem in our countries? That's something about Australian animals, something about the conservation and the people that are dedicated to do this. A cup of coffee is nothing for us, but it would mean so much to them. They've got to feed these animals. They've got vets and you know, housing requirements and things like that, costs and all the sorts of things. But anyway, look, there's our gorgeous card. I'm off my soapbox now, so I'll just hold that up for you. Look at the gorgeous shine on those leaves. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I think that is absolutely gorgeous, even if I do say so myself. But there is one in the catalogue that is very similar. I can't show you. Please, when you get your catalogue or when you're able to look at it online, go and see if you can find it. No clues. You have to look through the catalogue to find it. And this little bit of texture is just so lovely. Anyway, look, that is your Thursday night video. I will see you guys all on Sunday night. Have an amazing weekend. Do something you really love with somebody that you really love. And yeah, take care, and I'll see you all on Sunday. Bye for now. Bye.